Morning. Namo Namaha. Welcome to 8fold Yoga Pranayama, fourth limb of the 8 limbs of Ashtanga Yoga according to Patanjali. So I would invite you to take a seated position, switch off your microphone, close the door, and begin to bring your senses inwards, pulling yourself inwards, letting go of the distractions of the outside world. Taking your seat, your seated posture, making yourself comfortable, finding ease as well as steadiness in your pose. Nice tall back, crown of your head lifts, shoulders relax, elbows pull down a little bit, firm up your tummy, and breathe. Bringing your attention to your eyebrow center and watching your breath. Step 1, watch. Step 2, keep watching. Without judgment, notice how you're breathing, where you're breathing. Is your belly moving? Is your rib cage moving? Is your breath noisy? Is it quiet? There is no wrong or right answer here. It simply is. Watching the breath, pulling your senses inwards, reducing the impact of the outside world and outside distractions, and viewing instead the inner landscape by means of your breath. Stilling the mind, yoga shita vritti nirodha, bringing stillness to the crowd of thoughts that generally populates our mind field. By watching the breath, we bring the number one distraction to these thoughts. The breath which pulls us inwards, replenishes, rejuvenates, nourishes, offers us life with every breath we take. So taking some deeper breaths, start to deepen your breath, start to think about pulling your breath into your belly and then letting it go gently, breathing through both nostrils, lips closed. Deep inhale and long, slow exhalation. Coming into your belly breathing, your diaphragmatic breath. Inhale deep into the base of the lungs. Feel your belly expand outwards as you do that, and exhaling, your belly falls back into place as you expel the air through both nostrils. With every inhale, breathing a little bit more deeper. And with every exhale, breathing a little bit slower. Gently extending that exhalation for as long as you can. And pulling the belly in a little bit towards the end. Pressing that air up and out of the lungs. Deep breath in. Belly expands. Long, slow breath out. Belly pulls back. Your hands are resting gently on your thighs, in or out of mudra. Just resting, open, relaxed, or palms down. As you lengthen with your out breath and deepen with your in breath. Breathing into the lower lobes of your lungs, ensuring full and plentiful oxygenation. Step 1, breathe. Step 2, breathe. Deep inhale and a long, slow exhale. As we settle into this practice, we're going to bring a little bit of movement. Roll your shoulders. Still belly breathing, just bringing some movement, becoming aware of the different parts of your body as you sit, as you balance, change direction, and then settle, pulling down again with the elbows, crown rising, belly pulls in a little bit. Deep breath in, and then exhaling, drop your chin to your chest. Inhale to center. And go again. Drop your chin to your chest as your head tilts forward. It becomes heavy. Let it be heavy. Let the weight of your head dictate that little stretch from the base of your skull through the cervical spine to somewhere between your shoulder blades. Inhale and exhale. Inhale back to center. And we go from side to side, dropping right ear towards the right shoulder, letting the head be heavy, letting the weight of your head create the stretch. Inhale back to center and exhale to the other side. And let the tensions and the tightness just melt away. A couple more of these to each side. Still belly breathing, still focused on the breath. Facial muscles relax. Your forehead, your eyelids, your cheeks, your jaw. Come back to center. Flow your attention, your awareness all the way to the base of your spine, to the tip of your tailbone. And then flow your awareness from the tip of your tailbone up to the crown of your head, extending that crown upwards, finding that beautiful, upright, vertical line of energy, and making tiny movements. Start to draw circles on the ceiling with the crown of your head, creating a conical shape in space. The base of the cone, or the tip of the cone, represented by the tip of your tailbone. Widen those circles out and then change direction, coming slowly back to smaller circles until once again you find that beautiful vertical line. Settle back into your seated posture. Find your belly breath again, deep into the belly. As you inhale, belly expands. As you exhale, the belly draws back. We're going to add a little something called ujjayi breath to this, a gentle constriction in the throat, making a little noise as you inhale and exhale by squeezing the vocal cords together a little bit, constricting the throat. The gentle sound of a snoring baby or ocean in a seashell, whichever way you prefer to perceive it, making that little noise in your throat, inhaling and exhaling, helping to lengthen the breath and helping to pull your attention inwards. Deep into the base and slowly exhale. Bring a secret smile to your face, lifting up the corners of your lips towards your cheekbones, and settle yourself into your asana, your seated posture. If at any point during the session you feel the need to move, and that may well be possible, you might not be used to sitting for an extended period of time. If you're watching this as a recording, press pause, move, sort yourself out, and then come back to the recording. So we're belly breathing right now, and we're going to move into a practice called Viloma Pranayama as we move towards our yogic breathing. Viloma Pranayama is an interrupted breath where you interrupt the inhale and then you interrupt the exhale at the same time. First of all, we start with 3 interrupted inhalations. So as you breathe in, you breathe deep into the belly and then pause. And then breathe a little bit more into the lower lobes of your lungs. And then pause. And then breathe into the rib cage. And then pause, and then take one further gulp of breath into the top lobes of your lungs. And pause. Hold that beautiful sensation of fullness, and then through both nostrils, slowly exhaling, dropping the collarbone first, and then closing the rib cage, and then drawing the belly back. And repeat, inhale, pause. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Fill yourself completely, and then exhale gently and slowly. Can I ask that everyone just check their microphone, make sure that they're turned off? Inhale, pause. Inhale, pause. Inhale, pause. Inhale. Hold yourself full. And exhale, long and slow. Again, inhale. 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 Hold, and then exhale. Last one, inhale. 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 Hold, and exhale, long and slow. Collarbone drops first, ribcage closes, belly draws back. And then we're going to take a long, deep yogic breath in. Inhale first into the belly. Continue inhaling into the middle lobes of the lungs, and continue inhaling, filling yourself completely as you did before. And this time we're going to exhale with pauses. Exhale and pause. Exhale some more and pause. Exhale and pause. Exhale some more and pause. Long, slow inhale into the belly, into the rib cage, into the upper lobes of the lungs. And then exhaling, pause. Exhale, pause. Exhale some more. And exhale, finally pulling the belly in. And then inhale long and deep. And last, exhale with pauses. Exhale, 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 exhale. Hold yourself empty for a moment or two. And then inhale deep into the belly, into the rib cage, and then into the upper lobes of the lungs. And from here we transition into this beautiful 3-part breath. Inhale and exhale. Exhaling, collarbone, rib cage, belly. Inhaling, belly, rib cage, collarbone. And continue this 3-part yogic breath. Takes a little bit of practice, but over time and with practice, it's a profoundly nourishing breath. Microphones off, please. Nourishing breath and calming, soothing breath. If you can breathe this 3-part yogic breath, if you suffer any sort of anxiety, any sort of stress, or if, like all of us, you have to live through events that are not entirely comfortable, not entirely to our taste, They might cause us to feel a little bit stressed, a little bit anxious. Come to your seat, settle, or even standing, and breathe this 3-part belly breath, this 3-part yogic breath into the belly, into the rib cage, and into the top lobes of your lungs. And then exhale slowly, calmly. And you're not only going to bring oxygen, much required, into your body, you're also going to be calming that central nervous system and breathing yourself to a calm state, a gentle state, a still state. And releasing, come back to your belly breath, focus your attention on your navel center. And as you inhale, watch how your belly relaxes. And as you exhale, watch as your belly draws back, and add a little bit of effort, pulling that navel center in. Feel your diaphragm rising, pressing the stale air out of your lungs, and then take another deep breath in. Belly expands. So we're going to move from this belly breath into a much more vigorous and energetic breath called Kapalabhati. From the Sanskrit, translates as shining skull, and in a moment you'll see why if you're new to pranayama. It's an intensely oxygenating breath, brings a little heat to the belly, exercises those belly muscles. So it gets that belly ready for the summer, as well as pulling in extra oxygen. And you will notice, as a result, you'll notice some gentle tingling or even intense tingling in your forehead or scalp. You'll feel maybe something in your ears, maybe in your throat, maybe in your shoulders, your arms, and your fingers, I tell you, because it's nothing to worry about, that tingling sensation. Dizziness, however, is not what we're looking for in our practice of pranayama. If you're watching the recording, please read below for the contraindications. This is an effortful breath and not a good thing to do if you're suffering from a heavy cold. If you have any digestive issues, including constipation or diarrhea, you might want to dial back on this. So please read the contraindications if you're here with me. Read your body. If you at all at any moment feel that you are getting nauseous or dizzy, cease the practice, come into a recovery pose, which is to take hold of both your elbows, press your forehead lightly against your forearms, and bring yourself down to the floor. Close your eyes here and just relax. Breathe normally. That is the recovery pose as demonstrated, and quite personally I enjoy it as a little bit of a gentle relaxing posture anyway, so if you want to try it in your own time, go for it. So Kapalabhati, we take our hands and we practice Adi Mudra, taking both thumbs, tucking them into the palm and wrapping your fingers around your thumbs. Bring those hands to the top of your thighs. Lift yourself up nice and tall. Crown of the head rises as shoulders drop down, they're nice and level. And the breath is going to be just through the belly, forcefully exhaling. You don't have to worry about the inhale, it happens as a result of the exhalation. Kapalabhati breath, I will demonstrate 5 breaths for you. Taking a breath in to start, and then forceful exhalation, pulling that belly in. So, if you're new to this, you might want a tissue. It generally can clear the fluid from the nostrils. If you're new to this, keep it slow. If you're more practiced, you know what you're doing. We aim towards getting about 120 breaths into a minute's worth of practice, and we're going to do 3 rounds of this classic variation of Kapalabhati. And for the first round, we're going to take 30 to 60 breaths. So depending on your level of practice, Take a deep breath in, forceful exhalation, and begin. When you finish your round, snort and splutter as much as you need. A cough, a snort, a blow, maybe take a sip of liquid. And settle back into belly breath, observing, noticing the sensations associated with the practice, and taking these belly breaths as recovery breaths also, to settle and wait for those sensations to recede. Taking these nice slow belly breaths in. Maybe like me, you ended up with a tickle in the throat. Give yourself time to rest and recover as we get ready for round 2. So looking for an even, rhythmic breath, reminding ourselves to keep our shoulders and our bodies nice and still, facial muscles, a relaxed secret smile on your face. Take Adi Mudra, take a deep breath in to start, lifting up your chin a little bit. And then go for round 2, 100 or so breaths, fewer if you're new to the practice. And begin. As you get towards the end of the practice, slow it down a little bit. Then take a deep breath in. As you finish, release your mudra, settle yourself into your recovery breaths. Breathing back into the belly. Deep inhale, slow exhale, watching the sensations associated with the practice, tingling in the scalp maybe, in the ears, in the shoulders. Notice your belly, you might be feeling your belly muscles. This forceful practice tones the muscles, oxygenates the body, that's the tingling sensation that you can feel, and also stimulates the circulation. So that oxygenation going to the brain is also flowing around your body, feeding, nourishing all your organs, bringing general health and well-being to your system. Getting ready for round 3, and we're going to up the ante. However many breaths you did in round 2, you're going to add 20 or 30 breaths. You're going to try and keep that rhythm. If you find yourself losing the rhythm, if you find that your breath gets chaotic, slow it down. So if you start off too fast, maybe, and you find that you can't quite sustain it, just slow it down. Focus on that pulling inwards of the belly, of the navel center. As you pull it in, Your diaphragm rises and the air is expelled from your lungs in one forceful exhalation. So round 3, Kapalbhati, shining skull breath. Adi Mudra with both hands. Take a deep breath in and 100 to 150 breaths in this round. Begin. As you come to the end, slow your practice down. Cease the Kapalbhati, take an inhalation. Nice and deep, lifting your chin, hold yourself full for a moment and then let it go. Long and slow as you settle into recovery mode. Releasing the mudra. In or out of mudra, palms can be face up or face down. Find your breath again, your belly breath. Watch the sensations in your scalp, in your skull. Anywhere else in your body, notice. Mindfulness in Hatha Yoga is the practice of pulling your senses inwards and noticing every single little thing that's happening in your body. Your breathing, your heartbeat, your circulation, your muscles, your sinews, your bones, your joints. And talking about joints, those of us who might have been sitting for a while, let's just stretch our legs out in front of us, release. Give yourself a massage of the knees. A little bit of Ayurveda, bringing in Indian practices of self-care, self-massage. Bring some heat to your knees. Bring some heat to your thighs. Bang your legs up and down on the floor and shake them from side to side. Wiggle your toes. Stretch them out. Scrunch them and stretch them. Little bit of movement there in the toes, and then keeping those toes together. Rotate into your ankles, just releasing through your ankles first in one direction and then the other. I feel them clicking. You might be able to hear mine clicking away as I release them. And if you're new to the practice and you've been sitting for a while, you might be feeling a little bit of pins and needles. It will subside. Bring your feet to the floor. Grab hold of your thighs with your hands. Lift yourself up. Take a lovely deep inhale, open up through your rib cage and tilt yourself forward, bringing your belly to your thighs, and then walk your hands down towards your ankles. Give yourself a little bit of a hug. Bring your chin down towards your knees and drop your head down, resting your cheeks on your knees, and feel that gentle stretch through your back, through the length of your back, especially the lower back. That little stretch, just releasing it a little bit. And then lifting yourself back up, bringing your feet towards your perineum. Your heels come towards your body, your toes come together, soles of the feet join, and just reach hold of your toes, grabbing them. Lift yourself up, nice tall back, and one of my favorites, Titali Asana, butterfly pose. Butterfly, of course, requires movement of the wings. So we flap our wings and we make that movement that creates heat deep into the hip joint. Hip health, absolutely crucial. Whatever age you are, whatever you do, we all sit for far too long, especially in this lockdown. We might have found ourselves sitting at our desks for hours on end in front of the laptop, and that is doing us no good at all. So we take this opportunity to bring a little bit of movement, bring a little heat into your hips, and then release again, bang your legs up and down, stretch your toes out, and come back to a comfortable seated posture, whether it's Sukhasana, Siddhasana. If you're a yoga practitioner, there are all sorts of different ways that you can sit, half lotus, full lotus, whatever feels right for you. The most important thing is that the back should be straight. The shoulders need to be relaxed. Open your arms out wide and then bring your right arm over your left. Take those fingers, find your shoulder blades and gently pull them apart as you drop your chin down. Feel that space between your shoulder blades. Feel that stretch across the upper back. Open up again, inhaling. Open your heart and then closing down, left arm over right this time. Same thing though, take those fingertips to your shoulder blade and just gently open up. If you are someone who sits at a computer or sits or spends time being static, gentle stretch, a gentle self-hug that opens up that space between the shoulder blades, eases the tension, relieves the spine of some pressure, and brings you to the possibility of an upright posture, allowing your lungs space to breathe, your belly space to move with that belly breath, and bringing health and happiness, we hope, to our lives. Come back to your belly breath. Inhale, belly expands. Exhale, belly draws back. If you're new to this, popping your hand on your belly, you can feel that expansion. It's the relaxing of your belly muscles as your diaphragm drops down. And as you breathe out, feel your belly drawing inwards again. After that Kapalabhati, you should be feeling quite aware of your belly muscles. Breathing in and breathing out. Retraining our lungs to breathe in the way that is most healthy for us. Increasing the oxygenation to our bodies, to our organs, increases our health. Breathing in this practiced way, this controlled way, with that little ujjayi breath. Remember that constriction through the throat, creating a little bit of a vibration, like a valve as you exhale, pinching the valve of a rubber ring and letting the air exhale slowly. Then inhale deep. It's all about the belly breath. If you have 5 or 10 minutes a day to just practice your belly breath, you will be doing yourself a huge favor. So from belly breath, we're going to go to a more energetic breath, or a more, when I say energetic, I'm talking more about moving energies around in our body. So I want you to take your awareness back to the tip of your tailbone and flow that awareness as you breathe in from your tailbone to your crown, imagining a silken thread holding those 2 points together, beautifully vertical, beautifully upright. And as you inhale, you flow your awareness up from the base to the crown, and as you exhale, you flow that awareness back down again. So you're still belly breathing, but you're now linking your inner eye, your mind's eye, to the movement of energy through your body from the tailbone, site of Muladhara chakra, to the crown, site of Sahasrara, the crown chakra. So from the 4-petaled lotus at the base to the 1,000-petaled lotus at your crown, flowing your awareness with your energy. Now visualize that flow of energy like liquid light moving up with the in-breath and flowing down that central channel with your exhalation. Inhale, flow that light energy upwards, and exhale, flow it back down again. This is a breath practice mostly practiced in southern India called Abhisheka breath. Doesn't really translate very well from the Sanskrit, but the best translation I can find for it is waterfall breath. So this is variation 1, waterfall breath, flowing with a very sharp focus, inhaling and flowing that liquid light up your central channel, and exhaling, flowing, visualizing that liquid light of energy flowing back down from the crown to the tail. And as we do this, we're going to move into variation 2, flowing upwards with sharp focus. And then as you exhale, visualize that energy like liquid light cascading, showering down through your body, through your cranium, through your throat, your chest, your back, your belly, down through your hips, into your thighs, to your knees, to your toes, and through your shoulders, upper arms and lower arms. Inhaling, flowing that energy upwards like liquid light, and exhaling, cascading, waterfall of liquid energy flowing through your body, held in only by the outer wrapping that we call the skin. Inhale and exhale like this. Lovely deep inhalation, and as you exhale, feel that flow, that waterfall, that cascade of liquid light throughout your being. Bright and luminous, filling yourself with light. Abhisheka breath, from the tail to the crown, breathing in. And from the crown to the tail, breathing out, cascading that energy throughout your being. A beautiful, calming breath. Releasing tensions through the manipulation of energy in our bodies, flowing that energy through rivers called nadis throughout the body. With every breath you take, opening up your rivers of energy, letting that energy flow. And enjoying the breath relax your forehead, your cheeks, your jaw, your throat. Taking that deep conscious control of your own breathing, keeping your body nice and upright, shoulders relaxed, arms heavy, hands resting as you flow that energy through your deeper self. As we flow this energy up and down Sushumna Nadi, for those of you interested in chakras, the main chakras lie along this channel of energy. So as we flow pure earth energy upwards with the in-breath, we're flowing through the chakras, opening and activating as we go. Exhaling, continue to cascade, to shower that energy down through your being, and inhaling. Through Muladhara rises the energy, through Svadhisthana, sacral chakra, Manipur, navel center, Anahata, luminous heart center, the Vishuddhi chakra, the throat chakra, and flowing ever upwards through Agnya, your third eye, to Sahasrara, the crown of your head. If you want to know more about the chakras, join us sometime for a pranayama class or even an asana class. Or find our contact details in the box below. If you're already here with us, you know how to find us. And release that Abhisheka breath. Come back to your belly breath. And as summer's coming along, and we hope for warmer days, we're going to practice what is a cooling breath, but also a soothing breath. Shitali Pranayama. It's been practiced for a couple of thousand years at least by the yogis who have passed their knowledge down to us by word of mouth first and then by text. And thankfully, with the diaspora of communication in the 20th century, and now even more so in the 21st century, we're able to benefit from these ancient practices. So, Shitali breath. This is one where we use our mouths to breathe in, our nostrils to breathe out, and we're going to stick our tongue out. If you are genetically predisposed to being able to roll your tongue into a tube, I personally am not, but I know some of you are. What we do with this breath is we stick our tongue out and either take the tube if you can, or if like me you can't, create a little scoop. Over time it'll get better, but you want to scoop that air in and bring that air into your mouth and cooling your tongue and any saliva in your mouth as you breathe in. Still belly breath. So when you finish breathing in, you're going to close your mouth, closing the lips together, and you're going to swallow the saliva, taking it down the esophagus into the belly. This is the cooling, the physically cooling part of the breath, as well as the inflow of cool air, cooling the upper part of the body. That saliva, that cooled saliva goes down into the belly and just gently cools it down. On very hot days, it's particularly effective, especially if you suffer from the heat. So that's part one. Part two, having swallowed, is to exhale through both nostrils, long and slow, with a little bit of ujjayi, constriction of the throat if you want to. We're going to do 10 of these breaths, gaining practice as we go and feeling the effects of the breath as we go. If at any point it becomes too much, or you want to stop, or your tongue gets a little bit dry, stop, come back to your belly breathing. There are no contraindications for this breath. Just the warning that your tongue might get a little bit dry. You might find yourself lacking saliva to swallow. But have a go at it, especially if you're new. Have a go. Suck it and see, as it were. So, tongues out, rolled or scoop. Inhale. Close your mouth, swallow. And then exhale long and slow. Collarbone descends first. Then the rib cage closes, and then the belly draws back. Inhale. Scooping that air cool into your body. Close, swallow, and exhale. So today's practice, we're practicing variation one of everything. Inhale. Close and swallow. And then exhale through both nostrils. And keep going. If you want to know more, if you're interested in exploring the further variations of these breaths, get in touch. You can can drop in to any of our pranayama classes during the week on Saturdays. And we also practice a number of times the physical, the postural yoga, asana. Couple more of these shitali breaths. Thinking about taking your last one. Lovely long, slow exhalation with your eyes closed. Release any effort. Come back to your natural breathing. And just as we observed our natural breathing at the beginning of the practice, take a moment to note what your natural breath looks like now. Is it maybe a little bit deeper? Is it maybe a little bit slower? Maybe it hasn't changed at all. In this practice of pranayama, we are looking to slow down the breath. From the average human's 18 to 30 breaths a minute, to the average yogi's 4 to 6 breaths a minute. The science on breathing is clear. The slower you breathe, the healthier you are. It reduces high blood pressure, settles, calms, soothes, nourishes. Slow breathing and longevity are linked scientifically. It's not yogic myth. And belly breathing is the best breath to be practicing. It is our natural breath. We're born practicing belly breath. And then the process of life takes over. And by the time we're about 5 years old, we've completely forgotten how to breathe. And instead, we breathe into our chests, which is one step away from the panic breath that you might get when you're overly anxious, overly stressed, or you've been running too fast, too hard for too long. You need to slow it down. You need to bring that breath back to the belly. And that really is our focus today, that establishing of your belly breath. So now, having observed your natural breath, re-establish your belly breathing. Lovely deep breath in. Watch, notice the belly muscles just relaxing as you breathe in. Your diaphragm is pressing down, and then as you breathe out, watch as they fall back into place. And if you want to put a little bit extra effort, continue breathing out, pressing gently inwards, a little bit forcefully, expelling extra air and emptying yourself as best you can. Inhale to fullness and exhale to empty the lungs of breath. Establishing that belly breath. And we're going to come into our Nadi Shodhanam breath, our balancing, purification breath. But first of all, we're going to add some pauses. We're just going to consciously pause the breath at the top of the inhale, just for a moment or two. Inhale and hold. Gentle pause. Notice the stillness, and then exhale, release. And at the end of your exhalation, as you pull your belly in, pause, holding the breath out for the briefest of moments, longer if you're more practiced at this, and then inhale. And repeat, inhale, hold, and then exhale. and hold. Both of these are called kumbhaka in Hatha Yoga, inhaling. I inhale myself to fullness and I hold the breath in. This is kumbhaka. And then I exhale myself to emptiness and I hold the breath out. This is also kumbhaka. So explore that a little bit for the next 2 or 3 breaths. Inhaling, belly breathing, and pausing between those breaths, both at the top of the inhale and in Bahya Kumbhaka at the bottom of the exhale. And then releasing that effort, we're going to come into our Nadi Shodhanam breath. So Nadi Shodhanam literally means purification of the nadis. We use this breath to balance. It's an alternating nostril breathing. Your left hand remains in or out of mudra, resting on your thigh, either palm up or palm down. Don't overthink it, just let it happen. And your right hand is going to come close to your face, and you're going to take Vishnu mudra, bringing index finger and middle finger to the mound. Thumb and third finger are left free to close your nostrils. Your thumb will close your right nostril, your third finger will close your left. So if that feels a little bit uncomfortable, and if you prefer, you can take those 2 fingers and just gently relax them on your eyebrow center there. And then you can move thumb to close the right nostril and ring finger to close the left nostril. So we're just going to go do it directly into the practice, and we're going to cultivate it as we go through, refine it as we do. So inhale, deep inhale. And then with your left thumb, close your right nostril and exhale. Just as you were before, long and slow, but through the left nostril. And then keeping that right nostril closed, inhale with the left. Nice deep inhale, and then close your left nostril and exhale through the right. Then inhale right, close the right nostril and repeat. Exhale left, then inhale left. Close the left nostril, exhale right, inhale right, and keep going. So depending on your level of practice, your breath is going to be longer or slower. Find a rhythm that suits you, that is comfortable. And we're looking here to lengthen the exhalation so that it's longer than your inhale, whatever that may be. A good way of measuring is to measure your exhale, count in ohms, 1 ohm, 2 ohm, 3 ohm, 4 ohm, etc. And then whatever you counted, breathe in for half of that. So you might be breathing in for 3 ohms and breathing out for 6. Or breathing out for 8 or 10 and breathing in for 4 or 5. Whatever is right for you that doesn't cause any strain. Observe the breath. This is the simplest variation of Nadi Shodhanam. There are others. And this Nadi Shodhanam balances by means of the breath your energies equalizes the left and the right. As you switch nostrils, that breath, that energy is moving from the right hemisphere to the left, and from the left hemisphere of your brain to the right. And on an energetic level, balancing the creative with the logic, imagination with reason, balancing the active and the passive, the sun and the moon. The yin and the yang. I'm thinking about drawing this practice to a close. And your last breath is going to be breathing out. Or your last breath of this practice is going to be breathing out through the right nostril. And release that hand back to your lap. Keep your eyes closed. And keep your focus on your eyebrow center. Gently notice that your back is straight, that your crown is rising, that your shoulders are relaxed. Release all efforts of breath. Come back to your gentle, natural, flowing breath. Keep your focus on your eyebrow center. Now we're going to take a 2 or 3 minute meditation on a sorrowless, luminous place that is our heart. So take your awareness to your heart center. Imagine that you can feel your heart beating. If you're a seasoned practitioner, you probably can. If you're new to the practice, that might take a while. So visualize your heart. Sense your heartbeat. And visualize this glow of light emanating from your heart center. Luminous and sorrowless. Bring your attention to your heart, to anahata. And rest there. Rest your mind. Find stillness. Know peace. And we're going to conclude today's practice with 1 Om and 3 Shantis. So keeping your eyes closed, bring your hands to your heart center. With your thumbs, touch your sternum, press your palms lightly together and take a deep breath in. Join with the Om and 3 Shantis to close. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Drop your chin to your chest. And in your own time, gently blink your eyes open in that space above your fingertips. And I wish you all a day of peace, and more peace. Love and light to you all, and see you soon.